Guys, the ladies of the OC are so back. The episodes, they're fantastic. They are on their press tour currently. They're spilling some tea. They're talking about Alexis, Shannon, how it's going. Obviously, in the most recent episode, we saw the situation between Gina and Jen Pedantri given rent, no rent, eviction, Gina's new real estate, booming real estate career. Anyways, let's get to Tamra because Tamra was yapping. Well, she's always yapping, but more so than usual. She was addressing fan questions, and I happened to catch them, and we're gonna get through them. Let's see. Let's see what Tamra the yapper is going on about now. Now, with all that said, definitely subscribe. Turn on notifications. Do all the good YouTube stuff, guys. And I do read your comments, so, definitely chime in into the comments below. With all that said, let's get into it. All right, so what is our girl Tamra going on about recently? Let's take a look here. All right, so someone asked, how does Jen not know she did anything wrong to Gina? I'm genuinely concerned. So Tamara responds, in 4 years, Gina has busted her butt as a single mom to rebuild her life after divorce. Because, we've seen Gina go through a messy divorce. And, it's not a cute situation. Not only was it a messy divorce, we also saw Gina be messy on the show, with her hair and her messy behavior. But, anyways, Tamara continues, she does not want her name in real estate tarnished. Like Gina said, 4 years later, Jen Pedantri, is getting threads, Botox, hair extensions, glam, and what else? But not paying her bills. Irresponsible. Now, Tamara, of course, is loving it. She's doubling down on going after Jen Pedantri. Guys, honestly, with friends like Tamara, who needs friends, right? Like, Jen Pedandri thought Tambra was like her good girlfriend. Like, who was it? Jen and what's the guy's name? Ryan Bojan. They literally met at Cut Fitness, Tamra's fitness place that she had, which unfortunately they had to close down because of the pandemic. Anyways, Jen really thought Tamra was her friend. Instead, Tamra apparently was, holding back that Tamra even saw Ryan, be a little friendly with some of the other women at the gym, including her. Anyways, that Jen Pedantri at this point is like, whatever, let bygones be bygones. I'll just start fresh with Tamra. But Tamra does not have Jen's back. And then I bet you Tamra will turn on Gina at some point. Tamra, guys, is a very good housewife. But anyways, let's continue. All right, so now we get to Shannon. Someone's question is, sorry, or someone's Q&A question. Sorry, you were Shannon's friend. You should be there for her. You friend hop too much. Tamara responds, I was for months after the DUI until it did not work for me anymore. Sometimes you have to choose yourself over a toxic environment. These responses, these Q&As, I notice I don't know if she does them all the time, but I happened to catch this set over the weekend. And I don't know if she was doing it because she wanted to get some stuff off of her chest based on what we've seen of her on the first couple episodes, or is it because in the last episode we didn't get like a whole lot of Tamra, so maybe she's like, oh, let me put some stuff out there. I don't know. It's interesting timing, that's for sure. And you guys remember Tamra, Shannon, Vicki. They had their Tres Amigos tour, and then Shannon had her DUI. Shannon still wanted to go on tour. Drinking is a big part of that tour, the theme of that tour. And I guess Tamra felt like it's in poor taste for Shannon to continue this tour or in the setup that it was in at that time. And it was just too toxic. It didn't make any sense. Also, on top of that, Tamara's 2Ts was doing quite well. So I don't know what Tamra really had for her to continue the tour with Vicki and Shannon. However, I don't think it's all Shannon's fault. Like, yeah, maybe she was drinking here and there, maybe it was toxic, but for Tamra, like Tamra is Shannon's friend. Her as a friend should be like, "Hey girl, like what do you need? Like let me help you out. Like, hey, I got to set a boundary for myself. I don't like this. Let me touch base with you in a little bit." I don't know. At the end of the day, you and I are never going to get the full story between Tamara and Shannon, Tamara and Vicki, Tamara and Jen Pedantry. It's a lot. And this person saying you friend hop too much. Oh, yeah. We've definitely seen that over the years. All right, so this person's like, Eddie is the voice of reason, and honestly, you are the best part of the show. Tamara responds, Eddie is a stand up guy, big heart, always has great advice. Okay, here's my thing. When the husbands offer advice and they're not like up their wife's tush, like they're not like egging them on to do inappropriate behavior, like basically continue being nasty, like they give them level-headed advice, that's when I appreciate the husband making an appearance. And I'm not talking about Eddie. I'm talking about like any of the husbands across all of the cities. And Eddie, from what we've seen so far, he's had some like good moments, you know. The moment that stood out to me, I think it was like last episode. It was something to the extent like, you know, Tamara's talking shit about Jen Pedantry, and Eddie was like, "Yeah, you know, Jen, I think like she'll be okay. Like we know she's a hard worker. You know, she'll be fine. You know, she just has to work hard." Something to that extent. But then he said something weird about in regards to Ryan Bojian. Something like, "Oh, when you hang out with liars or when you hang out with schemers, you like become that way." I don't know. We got to keep a close eye on that friendship, Eddie and Ryan Bojian. All right. Alexis, Shannon, the lawsuit. Let's get into that. This person wrote, does Shannon not realize Alexis has zero, 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 not one in the words of the pretty mess, Erica Jane. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. Does Shannon not realize Alexis has zero to do with the lawsuit, or she's in love with John? Tamara wrote, she knows Alexis didn't sue us. It's a deflection. So here's the thing, very quickly, because you know, Bravo watchers are swift sleuthers. Honestly, I've said this in some of my videos before. I am convinced in the at the IRS, they have a division solely to see what these housewives and influencers are up to, what they report on their taxes versus how they spend their money. I also think, in addition to that, the reverse, the government, if they want to find out something, they need to hire Bravo fans, because Bravo fans will find out anything and everything immediately. So, right after that episode aired where Shannon and Alexis, you know, Shannon approaches Alexis, but she talks about the lawsuit Jim Bellino had against herself. So, Shannon, Tamara, and Heather McDonald. And Shannon said she lost half a mil. Shannon lost, so Tamara lost half a mil. Shannon lost 300K, which, you know, that's what she approached Alexis about, how she was hurt about losing the 300K. And Shannon was like, yeah, your name was in the lawsuit. You know, your name was there. I can prove it. Alexis was like, I didn't sue you. You know, I had nothing to do with the lawsuit. Guys, I think they're both right. And I'll explain to you why. Alexis may have not been the one, you know, that was spearheading the lawsuit. It was her ex-husband, Jim Bellino, because Shannon and Tamra said some pretty disparaging things about his trampoline business. However, even though Alexis, you know, wasn't the main person spearheading that lawsuit, her name were on it was on the lawsuit as like not interested parties, parties being affected. So technically, Shannon was right. Alexis's name did appear in the lawsuit. However, the extent of it, Shannon got that part wrong. Let's move on. All right, this is a two-parter. The person asks, if Shannon is terrible, why did you chase after her? Tamra responds, because I did care for her, and I know this has to be hard on her. Guys, I was stopping midway because there was like a Tamra meme that I was thinking of where she's like, it was something like, how is this good for you? And then they go back and forth, whatever it was. Anyways, so Tamra responds, because I did care for her and I know this has to be hard on her, Shannon. Look, I'll be quite honest with you guys. When Shannon felt uncomfortable, rightfully so, because Alexis at that luncheon was talking about how her and John Jansen are planning a future. She's getting a promised ring, promise with the D. Anyways, all that, Shannon excused herself. And then we saw Tamra chasing after her. Let's be so effing for real. It was, it was for good camera time and it was a good moment. However, Tamra is saying you guys did not see the full conversation in the hallway that caused me to call Shannon a bad person. It seems like it was a lengthy conversation and we only got snippets of it. Do I believe her? I don't know. However, if it was a juicy conversation, I would think producers and editors would keep it in. Unless they are trying to serve us a narrative and give us Shannon's redemption season. But like a good redemption season where we actually see her taking accountability and making appropriate changes, not like a Tom Sandoval redemption, like a real one. So I don't know. I half believe Tamra on this one. Also, you guys feel free to chime in. I definitely want to know your thoughts below as to what you think of Tamra sharing these responses regarding the current season of, not filming because it's airing now. So this last one, I noticed got a lot of press. A lot of people I saw pick it up, and it's in regards to Vicki, and I guess Shannon too. So anyways, the person's like, why do you think Shannon and Vicki are saying you go after others instead of using your own life stuff? Tamra responds, rich coming from the women that has come after every cast member, including my husband. She's a jealous, delusional hypocrite. I've shown so much in my 14 years. Divorce, custody battle, losing a child. Losing a child? She didn't have a miscarriage, did she? Guys, it's been 14 years. I didn't watch all seasons. Unless she's talking about her estranged daughter, Sydney, who doesn't speak to her. Rebuilding myself, getting married, remarried, birth of a grandchild, fitness journey, business building, baptism, closing of cut. Should I go on? What did she show? Oh, yeah, faking cancer. And that, of course, is in regards to Vicki. Well, she didn't fake it, but one of the men she was with did. Woof. That was a lot. All right. Some of the stuff that Tamra said she went through on the show, it's one of those things it's not necessarily that she showed. Yes, she showed it. However, it's things that happened to her in her life. You know what I mean? It's like if you graduate and get a degree or you get a new degree, yes, you did it and you're sharing about it. However, we're talking more about interesting stories that you might not want out there for the public. Look, I'm not saying Tamra didn't, give us a lot of her life and show it to us. She definitely did. But when it comes to Vicki, the OG of the OC, the matriarch of all of this, it's actually quite a shame that Vicki never got a producer's credit because she would have been loaded. I mean, she is, but she does quite well, but still. Tamara's definitely coming in hard. Here's my theory, guys. Once the show is over, because trust me, OC will be over in however many years, or once Tamra is off, or Shannon is off, or if the show continues. But basically, these three women are off the show. Vicki is already kind of off, but for whatever reason, she keeps going back for filming, and she talks about the show and her new podcast. Anyways, here's my theory. Once Shannon, Vicki, Tamra, they are all off, they will go back to doing some sort of Tres Amigos, a new version of that in whatever year from now. And the show is the problem. I think they genuinely do have a good friendship, and they are going to get back to that. Or I just have wishful thinking. I don't know, guys. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. Anyways, Vicki does have a new podcast, My Friend, My Soulmate, My Podcast. Horrible title, but whatever. She's had a couple different podcasts at this point. This one, however, it seems like there's a really good team behind it, and I think her co podcast host, Christian Gray, or is it Christian Snow? No, I think it's Christian Snow. I think he does a really good job keeping Vicki on track. Is Vicki going to use the show to get podcast ratings? Sure, she will. Why not? It makes sense. She's given so many years of her life to the Real Housewives of Orange County. Will we see, Tamra yapping on, what do you call it, on two T's regarding what's happening on the show, and Tamra addressing fans via, I don't know, Instagram stories and whatever promo tour she goes on? Yeah, probably. Tamra's going to be Tamra. It is what it is. Anyways, guys, you let me know your thoughts on Tamra, Vicki, Shannon, the crazy tornado trifecta that these three women are individually and collectively. So fun, so interesting, and a little bit crazy, but like in the best way possible. I will catch you all later. With that said, I'm going to go and watch the newest episode of Real Housewives of Orange County. Take care.